Today, we're diving into a whirlwind of emotions. Let's start with something that got fans absolutely shocked. Conor McGregor just revealed a personal DM he received from Ilia Topuria. And guess what? That message is from 9 years ago. Yeah, 9 whole years. But that's not the only news that's shaken up the MMA world. Ilia Topuria is now officially ranked #1 in the UFC's pound-for-pound rankings. And that means he's taken the top spot away from none other than Islam Makhachev. Now, as you can imagine, this caused a huge stir in the MMA community. Some people are thrilled, others are furious, and everyone's got an opinion. Let's break it all down. But hold up. There's more to this story. Joe Rogan, yes, the Joe Rogan, has said he's willing to break his long-standing rule for Topuria. That's a big deal, and we're going to explain exactly what he meant. So before we jump into it all, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. After the fireworks at UFC 317 last weekend, fans were asking one big question. Would Ilia Topuria be crowned the new #1 in the UFC's pound-for-pound rankings? Well, that question got answered on Monday night when the official rankings dropped, and there it was, Topuria right at the top. Islam Makhachev had held that #1 spot for 602 days. That's more than a year and a half, but now that reign is over. And you know what's crazy? Makhachev doesn't seem to care at all. He's just out there living life, not bothered in the slightest. But still, this is a big moment. Ilia Topuria is now officially the pound-for-pound king. Not everyone agrees with it, though. These rankings always spark heated debates, no matter who's #1. Remember when fans were fighting over whether Alex Pereira should have gone ahead of Makhachev? Then John Jones fans were mad when he dropped down to #2. Now it's happening all over again with Topuria. The truth is, rankings bring out emotions. They're not just about stats, they're about hype, impact, and human opinion. And right now, Ilia's momentum is undeniable. Just take a look at this. After UFC 317, his post-fight press conference got 653,000 views in just 12 hours. That's insane. Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev's press conference after UFC 311 only got 418,000 views, and that took 5 months. Ilia's Instagram exploded too. He's now sitting at 10.5 million followers, passing Makhachev, who has 10.4 million. Some people are whispering that he might have bought some of those followers, but honestly, there's no proof, just gossip. What's real is this right now. Islam has lost the top spot, but that doesn't mean he's out of the game. If he manages to win a second belt and matches Anderson Silva's legendary win streak, he could easily climb back to #1. The top fight might happen in October, but for now, Ilia Topuria is the king. And the reactions? Oh boy, they fiery. One fan wrote, "The level of disrespect. UFC doesn't deserve Islam Makhachev." Another said, "First they disrespected him with John Jones, now this? They've picked a new golden boy, a new puppet. They don't want Islam, but he'll take what's his by force. Dana will keep crying." But not everyone is mad. Some are actually celebrating this shakeup. One fan said, "He deserved it. When you switch weight classes, this is what happens." Another wrote, "This'll force Islam to fight Ilia. Great move by the UFC. Let them fight and settle who's really #1. Even Makhachev's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, stepped in. He insisted Islam is still the real champ. He said Islam beat Volkanovski in his prime when he was on a 22-fight win streak. He also beat Oliveira when he was on a 12-fight win streak. That's what matters." But then Jack Mack clapped back at Ali's comments and things got heated online.
I know this is crazy to say, Ali, but I have a simple solution to figure this whole thing out to end the debate. We'll have both of these guys fight. I know it's crazy, but Islam, all of these fights happened at 155. Ilia just moved up to 155. We could just have a fight, bro. But instead, it's kind of looking like Islam left the division for a reason. But maybe I'm wrong. We all want to see the fight, man. Let's make it happen.
I give Ilia Topuria pound for pound.
Yeah,
Wow, I never thought I'd hear that come out of that slippery tongue of yours, Kush.
Pause. Situation like this similar when Alex Pereira was doing what he was doing. But there's a difference here. Alex Pereira wasn't doing that against the caliber Ilia's doing that against. Former pound for pound Alexander Volkanovski stopped Max Holloway as well. Not only is he stopping them, do we remember what made Conor a superstar? Conor would tell you, I'll get him out of there in 2. Ilia Topuria said, I'm gonna knock him out in the first round. And he went out there. Jeez, was that scary.
Yeah, bloody eye off. No. What's gonna work? Dude, it's fucking up our stream. Turn it off. Dude, what the fuck? Turn that shit off. No. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh my god. Dude, no, this is way too long. Where's the remote? No. No fucking way. What do we miss? Are you kidding me?
Chael Sonnen had something interesting to say too. He believes Topuria would be holding even more titles right now if the BMF belt had been up for grabs in his fight with Max Holloway.
Mistake made. And the mistake was made to put Ilia in there with the reigning BMF champion and not to put up the belt. That son of should have 3 belts right now. And we're having a totally different talk if he does. The marketing and the posters are totally different if we had that, but we got to follow it to the T, and the belt's either up or it's not. And I only share that as, yeah, this is absolutely unbelievable. He didn't just beat up 3 killers. I mean, but the way the story gets told about Max, everybody likes Max and respects Max, and we know how great he was. There's more to it. He was the reigning BMF champion. Ilia Topuria should have had 2 over his shoulder and 1 around the waist, and I really do think that was an error. I'm glad that error is not going to be made the next time Max fight. I'm glad they're making him put the belt up. If you got the belt, it's got to be.
Now let's just stop for a second and appreciate the time we're living in. We are witnessing something truly special. These are fighters who come once in a generation. Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. And the fact that there's even a chance they could face off soon, that's historic. These guys won't be around forever. In a few years, they'll be gone, retired. So let's savor these moments while we still can. Even Demetrios Johnson, one of the greatest ever, thinks Ilia might retire undefeated, just like Khabib. When you've got nothing left to prove, that's how legends walk away.
He's a unicorn. Like, I think you're going to see him 3 or 4 more times, maybe 5 max, and he's going to disappear. He's like, I'm done. Undefeated. He could be a potential Khabib. Someone who just leaves the sport. It's like, I'm done. Don't need to prove anything. I won the belt at 45, 55, and shit, potentially, you know, he could fight at 170.
Rogan was talking about, he said if they do that in Spain at the Bernabeu Stadium, Joe Rogan will be going out to Spain to commentate. I was like, you bastard, I might get that one, but no, it will be Joe Rogan, and that would be a fight to travel for.
How many people? 80,000.
You took that fight on short notice, right? And you fought a bad motherfucker 3 rounds. You know what I mean? That was a perfect fight for you, though. You needed a guy like that to get in here and show you the level here. You know, and this kid's fought 4 times this year, so he's in great shape. You know what I mean? Pleasure, brother. Congratulations, man. All right.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to UFC.
And speaking of big moments, there's talk of a massive fight happening in Spain. Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev go head-to-head there. Joe Rogan says he might actually commentate. That might not sound like a big deal at first, but it is. For years, Rogan has had one rule. He doesn't do UFC events outside the US. Ever. But for Topuria, he might break that rule. Even Michael Bisping reacted to this on YouTube. He couldn't hold back his surprise and excitement. Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan is starting to stir the pot too. He probably heard what Javi Mendez recently said, that it's time for Arman to speak up and make some noise. And he did just that. He told Daniel Cormier that Ilia Topuria would be an easier fight than Charles Oliveira. That's bold.
Strike him, I'm gonna kick him. I watched his first fight, and he was wrestling a little bit. He got tired so much, and he never fought with wrestlers like me. Bruce Mitchell, or what's his name? Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell, he's the worst fighter in 145. He took him down and like hold him from the crazy position. And I can tell he's not high level. I mean, it's not WWE. I can't wait to show like everybody.
You said Bryce Mitchell's the worst fighter at 145.
I mean, he's did you watch his fights?
I did. I've watched his fights.
His kicks, like he think he's kicking the ball. I think.
Like soccer?
Like soccer, yeah.
You're so crazy, Armin. You're crazy.
I'll send Topuria back to top 15 pound for pound. For me, it's easier to fight Topuria than Oliveira. And then you can like just go like 1,000 times to take him down because he's not gonna try to choke you or something, you know?
Well, that Bryce Mitchell fight that you were speaking about, he won that fight by submission. Armin?
I mean...
Oh, and let's not forget Paddy Pimblett. Yep, he's jumping into the conversation too. He said, Topuria only got the title shot against Volkanovski because of me. No one even knew who he was before me. That's a wild claim, but hey, Paddy's never been shy about saying what's on his mind. And now, for one of the most emotional moments in this whole story, User X, also known as the MMA Sentinel, recently shared something special. It was a screenshot of a message Ilia Topuria sent Conor McGregor back in 2016. The message was short but powerful. Congrats, one day I'll become you. Conor replied to that screenshot with a respectful and simple caption, fair play, son. Think about that for a second. Back then, Topuria was just a young fighter with a dream. He looked up to Conor McGregor like a hero. Now, years later, he's a UFC champion himself. With fans all over the world. That dream, it came true, and now people are comparing Ilia Topuria's rise to Conor McGregor's. In fact, it's stronger than ever. Funny enough, despite all his fame, Conor McGregor was never ranked #1 pound for pound. But Topuria just did it. Let's look at the stats. McGregor won his 2nd UFC belt in his 10th UFC fight. Topuria did it in just 9. Both were 28 years old when they made history. When Topuria finished his last fight, fans couldn't help but notice how much it reminded them of McGregor's hammer fists on Joe's Aldo. It's like a mirror image. But there's more. Like McGregor, in his prime, Topuria is a terrifying striker, especially in the lower weight classes. But many fans believe Ilia might actually be more dangerous than Conor ever was. His raw power, his wrestling, his well-rounded game, he's got it all. Where Topuria still has some catching up to do is charisma. Let's be real, almost nobody can match Conor when it comes to personality and trash talk. That guy's a showman through and through. But Ilia? He's got his own style. He doesn't just talk, he makes bold promises and then delivers. And that's powerful. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, go ahead and like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're truly grateful for all the support. Thank you for watching and stay tuned because the next chapter in this incredible story could be just around the corner.